can always edit.
You can always edit.
Okay. You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm sure.
All right.
Just sit up a little bit. It's just this we're
Hello.
Hello.
We're not in the car for once.
We are not. We're not in the car. I even said, should we go just sit in the car and
We've been home for.
shoot this? But no, here we are.
So,
So today was a big day.
yeah, we are officially normal.
Yay!
Or so they've been saying.
Yep, pregnancy is defined as completely normal.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
So, where would you say that we are? Because I know that your counting's a little bit different than the one I was holding on to.
So I'm saying we're 9 weeks, 3 days.
All right. So we are 9 weeks, 3 days.
9 weeks, 3 days, and we had our very first
OB appointment.
OB appointment. We were lucky enough to already belong to a practice that had it.
Which I didn't even realize that we had. Like, I forgot we had an OB.
Yeah.
Like, I completely
Yeah, I
forgot
guess
that.
I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, like, that the OB part is really different than the GYN part.
Mhm.
You know, I just kind of always OBGYN, but it's, you know, 2 different.
But yeah, we already
But we
belong
to it.
a practice that's one of the highest recommended here in the Berg. So, and they're already in McGee. So we just, instead of turning right out of the elevator, we turn left. We're like, whoa!
So it's
Turn
nice.
left
It's
now.
just like nice to be in the same place, but we feel like, you know, you leveled up. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Mario, but like you're
Ding,
in a
ding.
different level. So the appointment went well.
Yeah, they were great.
So the appointment, do you want to just talk through like what she did? So it was a lot of talking.
yeah,
to give you a
They're
packet
like,
of things.
there's going to be a lot of information this time, and we're like, oh,
We're like, you're
like-
gonna throw a lot of information at us.
yeah,
Bring it.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
come on.
We
We've been
got
doing this process for
We got this.
years.
We got this.
Give us some information.
And they did.
And they did.
They
We
did.
got a whole packet.
A whole big file folder of stuff, and they went through everything that was in the file folder.
The minute I walked in, they're like, urine sample.
Urine sample, and then they walked us through sort of everything. Like that's will always be what you do when you come in. When you come
Yep.
in, you give a urine sample.
Yep, because they're always checking. And I was like, hey, we don't want to know what the gender of the baby is. And she's like, okay. I'm like, just in case.
She was like, I
That's
don't know when that happens.
We're like, but we don't know
Kayla's
either.
like, no, put it in our chart.
Just please put it in our charts because we're really trying. We don't want to accidentally stumble upon that because
We're
really
trying to hold out.
we're trying to not have that be the focus, especially since we live in this age of the big
Yeah.
gender reveal, etc., and the difference between gender and sex, and it just
And it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. We just want a healthy kiddo. So
And that's
so
all
we're
that
really
matters.
trying to make
think
that a
for us-
priority for ourselves because we
Yeah.
can be extra.
We love a good theme.
We love a good theme, so we're trying
The
to
theme
not.
is healthy,
Healthy.
baby,
Yeah,
not boy or girl,
Yeah,
or
so-
anywhere in between.
Yeah, so we're trying to mitigate that by
Making this active choice.
yeah. So
right?
so we're like we're just gonna keep on saying it until we get
Until
to
somebody hears us.
Yes. So,
So
but yeah,
Then they do a physical exam, pretty much like your regular. Actually, it was kind of like a regular
yeah, because she
GYN
said
checkup.
that I was due for my PAP since I had an abnormal PAP in 2017, but everything looked normal this time.
Yep.
What was abnormal 2 years ago, they took care of with that biopsy that they
Yep.
did, and
Yep.
and just like the doctor had said, that everything would be fine, and
Yep.
everything is fine.
Yep.
And she was really great about talking me through the safety of having a pap smear while pregnant, because just because I was nervous. I was like,
well,
uh-oh.
sure. I
You're
mean,
like,
things are going up there
Yeah.
that don't usually go up there, and we talked about Kate's been having like a couple
some mucus.
mucus
And I was like,
moments.
so tell me about mucus. And they're like, so mucus is going to happen throughout this pregnancy, and it's going to keep happening and be more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh,
But it
okay.
was nice that she explained that.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big things, if I can say to anybody, if you're feeling like slightly uncomfortable about talking about your personal things, push through that discomfort. It's really worth it to be able to be like,
Yeah.
listen, can we just ask you about this thing that we...
And I feel like they were even like, all right, what are your questions? And and we were like,
by the end, we were tapped out.
we're like,
questions.
oh,
and we came in with, you know us, we had our...
Yeah, because like something like the genetics are a big one for us.
Yeah,
like,
that one came up, so that conversation came up. It's at a certain time in the pregnancy, you can opt in to have this genetics testing done.
Yeah, and they're saying like, because I'm 35,
she's at a higher risk for things like autism and other, you know, on the list of things.
Yeah, and I know that with our testing, something called Fragile X had popped up in the beginning of our whole genetic testing.
So in the very beginning, we did genetic testing on both of us.
So
and this disease Fragile X came up, and Caitlin's a carrier. I'm a carrier. For it.
So we, you know, and it's sparred the knowledge that we need to have a conversation about what do genetics mean to us, and how much do we want to know, how much should we know?
Yep.
Because we always believe knowledge is power, but also, do we want to poke and prod more than we need to?
Right.
So we asked those questions to the doctor.
And you know, this like that whole issue, that could be like 18 vlogs, right? A whole series of vlogs just on all of that stuff alone. So we've set aside time to put that conversation on the table when we're both ready to really talk about, because it's more than just information. It has to do with beliefs and feelings and a lot of unknowns and for and two people to compromise on a huge decision like that. So, you know,
and what your action would be once you have the knowledge. You know, that's big stuff.
It's big stuff. So if you haven't put it on the table yet.
So what happened today was that the doctor told us about what tests are available. Here's the time frame, and here is the number to call the people at the genetics office, and what that consultation will look like, so that we can have the conversation with people who have a bit more information. No, we loved our doctor today. She was awesome. We're very excited that this practice deals with the whole, so we'll meet all the different doctors in the practice over the next 9 months, and one of them will give
be
birth.
The ones who delivers the baby. So it's, you know, it's 4 or 5, I think, practitioners, a couple PAs, and then 4 nurses, and they feel very strongly about having a personal connection.
They threw a nurse in with us today. She's like, I just wanted to come and say hello. We're like,
we were like, oh,
hello. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. So yeah, it was a good visit. Lots of information. They were right.
You're gonna.
No, you do.
Please, I'm enjoying you. I'm enjoying. Look at this one. Like she's
the best part of the whole trip was she was saying, well, we can attempt to try to hear the heartbeat.
You're usually not supposed to hear a heartbeat until 10 weeks. Depends
and
on how your uterus is tilted, because the baby is small. We're olive size right now, or pecan size.
Really, really small, and it's really unlikely.
There's a lot of body.
And she was like, don't get your hopes up, but also don't be upset if we don't, but we'll try it. She said, we really don't want to do an ultrasound. It's expensive, and if everything fine, everything looks fine.
We measured so well at 7 weeks. She
doesn't want to touch anything.
She's like, yeah, come back in a month. And we're like,
okay. So she gets the little thing out, and it kind of looks like Doppler, and it kind of looks like, it made me think of like the old-fashioned microphone hooked up to the the cassette tape player, remember? And you would like walk around and sing in the microphone with the cassette tape player. It looked like that.
What was that called? Talk Boy or no?
Yeah,
something. Oh, I'm not gonna remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, so anyway, so she did the Doppler, and guess what?
We heard the heartbeat. And she said that once we hear the heartbeat, our risk of miscarriage goes down to 3%. So that's really awesome. I heard it. I think I heard it first. I was like,
I feel like we both heard it. There was silence. She was moving things around. Then she was like, "Do you hear it?" And I feel like I already heard it. Was that the thing I heard? Because it's much faster. We heard Kate's heartbeat.
Yeah,
and then we heard.
Yeah, so she walked us through like hearing my heartbeat low and slow, and then moved us over to Monster Pants's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So that was cool. That was
really cool.
That was really exciting. That was,
Yeah. Ha. Good job, Monster Pants. She's like, that's one, well-behaved
baby you got in there.
We're like, thank you.
Of course it is.
Thank you for cooperating, little angel.
Of course, our little angel is being cooperative.
Thank you.
It's just nice.
That's nice.
Everything's average. Everything's normal.
And the doctor was upset about that whole geriatric pregnancy BS.
Upset.
She was like, no.
Rude. She had both her babies, one when she was 39, one when she was 41. Yeah. So she was like, that's crap.
She's like, nope.
But guess what she was really excited about?
What?
That Kate was on Zoloft.
Oh, she loved that.
She loved it.
Oh my God.
It was just like nice that she was
She's like, I have no problems with Zoloft. She's like,
in fact, when you're ready to up it, right when you're about to have the baby, let's do that.
Yeah,
so you're ready for post.
Yeah, she's like, postpartum is awful. I hated it. You'll probably love it, but we're just. she's like, we'll up you. We'll up you for postpartum. I'm like, great.
And she said, actually, the babies who come out from mothers who are on Zoloft, usually the birth is a lot less traumatic.
But
the
calmer.
baby is not nearly as
and they've actually
colicky and cryy.
And they say that actually they've changed the terms from withdrawal because they used to say like the baby will go through withdrawal. Now they just call it adjustment or
adaptability.
It's
like a adaptable or
postpartum
adaptation or something.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's much more humane. Much more civilized.
Because they actually found that women going on and off of Zoloft is worse for both mom and the fetus.
Because the stress. The stress period is so much worse.
Like the body and the way it handles stress is such a huge chemical melting pot. And I really do believe that like us trying, whenever I went on to medication is when we started to have more positives for our journey. And I've noticed the big difference.
I have too.
In myself and
and it's big and it's subtle all at the same time. It wasn't like our lives suddenly changed. It was like a valve was released, and we, instead of going off the cliff.
Yeah, my thing always with Zoloft is saying that I'm in the car, my foot's on the brake. I could let go of that brake and I like could go off that cliff, but my foot's on the brake. Like that's like my
that analogy.
That's how I feel like in those moments where I'm like, you know what?
Yes.
Like I see another option here.
Yes.
And that's nice. So it was really nice to have the doctor champion. She's like, oh yeah, love this. She was great. Walked through all of our history. And she's like, you've been through a lot.
When she walked in the room, she knew who we were. She knew what our history was. Thank you so much for reading the chart. Thank you so much.
I mean, that's like every time a doctor reads our chart, we're like, oh, hallelujah. And she's like, oh yeah, you don't have to come back. Come back in a month. And we're like,
she was like, 4 to 6 weeks. We were like,
okay. Okay. And then whenever I went to schedule, I'm like, I'll take that appointment at 4 weeks.
Yeah, the receptionist was like, would you like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, or 6 weeks? We're 4 weeks.
We're like, that's
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
We'll do 4. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We'll come in at 4.
4:30 a.m. How soon we'll be outside waiting.
So we'll go back in September. So, but I mean.
So it was a really normal visit.
And she kept saying that we're normal. You guys are normal. Yeah. Everything's normal.
She was telling us stories of other lesbian couples. That
I feel like she was like, oh, I got some lesbian street cred. I have at
least 2 lesbian stories to share with you. Here we go. I'm like, great.
She's like, here's this one and here's this one.
I love it.
We're like, okay. You know what? You tell us those stories. I am happy to hear them. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was, it was enjoyable.
It was a good visit.
Yeah, it was, and it was like, it was nice to just be like,
I know.
Because we've been on edge for so long. Like every couple weeks we're on edge. And we keep saying how it's another 2-week wait. It's another 2-week wait. And really, like, I feel like she was trying to say, like, no,
we're stop waiting.
We're here. Like, she's like, life happens, right? Like, she's like, it's not 0, it's 3% chance. But
she's not going to say it's never going to happen, but also.
But she also talked a lot about statistics with us. She's like, just think about that.
She did. She was like, really talking about the data and the percentages. So what does 3% really mean? And
so Yeah, it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, so that was...
So that's Monster Pants at 9 weeks, 3 days.
Boom.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Can't believe we're here.
Yeah. But we are. But we are here.
We are here.
We are here. We are here.
It's true. It's what it feels like a little bit. Mm.
A person's a person.
No matter how small.
I love you. Uh-oh, I don't know if we can kiss in the hammock. All right. Bye, guys.